Over the weekend, they had the Emmys on Sunday, and Hacks star Hannah Einbinder, or Einbinder, she won an award. And she got up there and she gave a speech. And at the end of the speech, she said something really interesting and very evocative. I'm sure that you've probably all seen it by now, but let's listen to it again and let's talk about it.
I also want to thank the cast and crew of Hacks, and finally, I'll pay the difference. Sorry. Finally, I just want to say, finally, go Birds, fuck ICE, and free Palestine. Thank you.
Nice. Fuck ICE and free Palestine. Now, a couple of years ago, saying something like that was pretty damn controversial, but at this particular point, what Israel has been doing in Gaza, I mean, they just declared it at the UN. It is a genocide. The ICC calls it a genocide. The IJC calls it a genocide. Amnesty International calls it a genocide. Everybody's calling it a genocide. Not to mention, 92% of all Democrats call it a genocide and are against what Israel is doing in Gaza. It's like something like 75% of independents are against what Israel is doing in Gaza. Of course, the Republicans are the only ones that are holding us back. But anyway, it has become a lot more, I don't want to say popular sentiment. It's just unavoidable because it's right in our faces. Now, she went backstage and she's got a Palestinian awareness button on her dress. And she is pretty out and proud about her opinions on what Israel is doing in Gaza.
I thought it was important to talk about Palestine because it's an issue that's very dear to my heart. I have friends in Gaza who are working as frontline workers, as doctors right now in the north of Gaza to provide care for pregnant women and for school children to create schools in the refugee camps. And it's an issue that's really close to my heart. For many reasons, I feel like it is my obligation as a Jewish person to distinguish Jews from the state of Israel because our religion and our culture is such an important and long-standing, basically like institution that is really separate to this sort of ethno-nationalist state. And
look, the Jewish history, Jewish culture has been around for thousands and thousands of years. Zionism has only been around for less than 100 years. And Zionism is an ethnic distinction. It's we're the white ones, they're the brown ones, let's kill the brown ones. That is what Zionism is in a nutshell. I know that I'm boiling it down to its smallest point, but that is what Zionism is. It's an ethnic distinction. It's got nothing to do with anything except for Israel wanting to have a greater Israel, because that's the project. They want a greater Israel. That's why they're attacking Syria. They're attacking Lebanon, at Iran. I mean, they're going crazy. They're dropping bombs every fucking where. And they're trying to create a greater Israel, and they're using Zionism as the reason why they're doing it. And they're trying to equate the two, Judaism and Zionism. Even Jerry Nadler stood up and was like, you know, when they tried to introduce this in the House, if you are anti-Zionist, that means you're anti-Semitic. And Jerry Nadler, who is Jewish, stood up and was like, dude, those things aren't the same thing. They aren't even the same fucking sport. Stop trying to conflate the two. But Congress gets a lot of money from AIPAC, and they won't be deterred. And I'm glad to see that some of the kids are all right, including this one right here, out here saying, hey, you know, free Palestine.
in terms of the pledge, it's like many movements, boycotting is an effective tool to create pressure on the powers that be to meet the moment, you know. So the Film Workers for Palestine boycott does not boycott individuals. It only boycotts institutions that are directly complicit in the genocide. So yeah, it's important to me, and I think it's an important measure, and so I was happy to be a part of it.
Good on you, honey. I agree. It is important. Now, we've got other actors that were there that day. We've got Javier Bardem. By the way, he was one of the earlier people calling this stuff out, and he's taken a hit. Great actor. Not getting as much work as he used to, mostly because of his statements against what Israel is doing in Gaza. And he was on the red carpet, and he got to say his piece, and I appreciate it.
Here I am today denouncing the genocide in Gaza. I'm talking about the IAGS, which is the International Association of Genocide Scholars, who study thoroughly genocide and has declared it is a genocide. And that's why we ask for a commercial and diplomatic blockade and also sanctions on Israel to stop the genocide, free Palestine.
Anyway, good on Javier Bardem and good on this young lady for doing what she did. This is what's going on. Look, every day, every single day, at least 100 Palestinians are either killed or starved or bombed or shot waiting in line to get food at the 4 sites in the south. They are literally doing the final solution in North Gaza. They are driving their bulldozers over the corpses of the dead bodies that are in Gaza. So we won't have any proof. Can't go in there and count. Some estimates say that is anywhere between 300,000 to 500,000. I heard a report earlier today saying that they were estimating something of about 600,000. Keep in mind, there were 2.2 million people living in Gaza when this whole thing started. And by the way, this war didn't start on October 7th. Israel has been fucking with Gaza with this totalitarian police state shit for 60 fucking years, 65 years. But every day, right now, at least 100 people. Gaza City residents say they are being subjected to heavy, relentless bombardment as Israel military expands ground offensive, forces thousands to flee, at least 106 people killed by Israel attacks across Gaza, and forces starvation since dawn. Here's a little video for you.
Another exodus for Palestinians. But there's no promised land. Just more displacement, more bombing, and more death. This man lost his wife.
There's no life after her. Oh God, take me with her. She's gone and left me alone. Take me with you. Oh Abdullah, take me with you.
The Israeli military is expanding its offensive on Gaza City, calling it a combat zone. But to Palestinians, that means nothing. They've seen every part of this narrow strip bombed over the last 20.
I mean, look at that. It looks like fucking hell. These people are living in rubble. They're bombing the rubble. They're bombing the tents that they live in. They're bombing the refugee camps that they congregate in. They're killing food delivery service workers, you know, that international kitchen group that was feeding them. They bombed them. And Netanyahu, Smotrich, Ben Gvir, these guys are just lusting for blood. They want the final solution. They have literally become what they hated. They have literally become the modern day Nazi party.
Months. While many flee, others are being pulled from under the rubble. Hospitals are overwhelmed. Dirt and shock cover the faces of patients, holding hands the only comfort they have left.
This is not a war, folks. It's a slaughter. These are unarmed people. They estimated anywhere between 30 to 40,000 Hamas members. And at minimum, they have killed 200,000. So even if it's that minimum number, and it's not 500,000 people, not 600,000 people, if it's just the 200,000, that means that they've killed majority unarmed civilians. Minimum, they've killed 80 to 90% civilians.
No life after today. Damn you, Netanyahu, for what you have done to us. Forgive me, Auntie, I couldn't protect you.
For the people of Gaza, there is no hope of a ceasefire. They believe no one is coming for them. Only the relentless strikes turning their homes into ruins and Gaza City unlivable.
It's a tragedy, folks. This is just an unmitigated tragedy, what they're doing. Here's Bibi Netanyahu saying something really interesting. Not sure if you're aware of this or not, but...
Cell phones? You have cell phones here? No? You're holding a piece of Israel right there. You know that?
Oh, yeah, he's a really funny guy. But hey, if you're holding a cell phone, you got a little bit of Israel there. Is there a bomb in there? I mean, if I'm not mistaken, I remember, wasn't that long ago that they did a shitload of pager explosions, killed a lot of people, including children. But yeah, you got a little piece of Israel in your cell phone. You didn't know that? I didn't know if you knew that or not. By the way, they're also hooked up with Palantir, our spy agency headed by Alex Karp and Peter Thiel. And who's to say that they haven't put any spy software in your phone? I mean, is that the little piece of Israel he's talking about? A couple weeks ago in Qatar, those negotiators met and Israel attempted to blow them up. Of course, they missed. There was 5 of them. They all lived. But Israel is not fucking around with their bombs. I'm sorry, our bombs.
Followed by another in the front. Cell phone video shows people running in the normally quiet and peaceful Qatari capital. Israeli Prime Minister Netanyahu said the targets were Hamas leaders who have an office in Qatar.
The Hamas leaders that were trying to negotiate a ceasefire. But Netanyahu does not want a ceasefire. He wants to continue this slaughter so he can have a greater Israel.
Noon today, I convened the heads of Israel's security organizations.
Oh, and by the way, the Trump administration is out there saying right as we speak, they're like, we didn't know they were going to do it. We had no idea. And then yesterday, a report came out saying that Netanyahu had called and talked to Donald Trump and got the blessing before he dropped the bomb. In Qatar, who is an ally of ours. And by the way, we have the Abraham Accords with them and Saudi Arabia and a couple of other Arab countries, which, by the way, that could crumble under this. I don't think Bibi Netanyahu gives a good goddamn. He just wants what he wants. And Donald Trump's weapons are just a means to an end. And Donald Trump is a dumbass, so he's just giving him whatever the fuck he wants.
And authorized a surgical precision strike,
which missed,
on the terrorist chiefs of Hamas.
They were the negotiating heads. They weren't military fighters.
These are the same terrorists who planned, terrorist chiefs who planned, launched, and celebrated the horrific massacres of October 7th.
He says he gave the green light for...
Talking about October 7th. 1,200 people died. It's a tragedy. It's fucking horrible. It was awful. I wish it didn't happen. It was like something like 500... I believe it was 500 soldiers and about 700 civilians, 1,200 people. Israel has killed, conservative estimates, 300,000 people. How much revenge do you need? All of the revenge, apparently.
The strike after Hamas claimed responsibility for Monday's mass shooting, where gunmen opened fire on commuters at a Jerusalem bus stop, killing 6 Israelis. But the White House tonight had rare criticism of Israel and its decision to hit Hamas in Qatar, neutral ground where negotiations among enemies take place. The Hamas office was opened in Qatar over a decade ago in a deal with Washington's support.
Speaking of deals, Donald Trump has a multi-billion dollar deal with Qatar to do like a resort in Qatar. I wonder if that's going to hold up through all this shit. And Qatar is the country that gave Donald Trump the $400 million jet that he took. Oh, I know. It's for America. The jet's for America, of course. I'm going to put it in my presidential library, and I'm just going to go there and look at it. It's going to be under the Dewey Decimal System, under air, A for airplane. And I promise you, I'm just going to leave it there. I'm not going to take it anywhere. I promise it's not going to become my plane after I leave the office.
To facilitate diplomacy.
Unilaterally bombing inside Qatar, a sovereign nation and close ally of the United States that is working very hard and bravely taking risks with us to broker peace, does not advance Israel or America's goals.
God, she's such a dumbass and a talking head, I swear to God.
The White House saying the U.S. military, not Israel, notified it of Israel's operation as it was happening, and that the U.S. then told Qatar, whose government called it a cowardly Israeli attack and state terrorism. Tonight, President Trump speaking to Netanyahu and Qatar's top leaders.
I'm going to give him a strong talking to. God, that sounds familiar. Sounds exactly what Joe Biden did. I don't like what that guy did, Jack. I'm just going to give him a strong talking to for not telling me that he was going to do all the bombings and all the killings and all that stuff. I said, listen here, Jack, let's do some push-ups and we'll figure it out. And here's Donald Trump literally doing the same fucking thing.
He assured them that such a thing will not happen again on their soil.
You know, or else you're not going to get that $5 billion or $6 billion golf resort in Qatar that you wanted so badly. Because ultimately, that's all that Donald Trump really cares about. What's in it for him? He could give a good goddamn about dead bodies in Gaza. He doesn't give a good goddamn about dead bodies in the Ukraine. Donald Trump just wants his cut. That's all he's ever wanted. And he's like, Bibi, you got to do what you got to do. Just go ahead and do it, but don't get me in trouble. So I don't take any blame, okay? But I'll make sure that you stay fat and happy with all of the money for your health care, all of the money for your weapons, all of the money for your education. Even though Americans don't get any of that shit, you're going to get it all. Just keep it on the DL and don't let anybody know about it. Look, I apologize for putting all that on the back end of that nice video about the young actress and Javier Bardem. But I'm trying to beat the YouTube algorithm so I can talk about Israel and Gaza, even though it probably won't work because I'm talking about it right now. Who knows how much they'll shove this down in the algorithm and how few of you people out there will get to see this and watch this. But I'm trying to be tricky and get this information out to you under the guise of, hey, an actress did a cute thing at the Emmys. Anyway, just wanted to let you know what was going on. It's been a while since I talked about the Israel-Gaza massacre, but I needed to update it, and that young actress was the perfect opening for me to get this information out to you. Hey guys, thanks so much for watching. If you enjoyed what you saw, please like and subscribe. Keep rocking.